Morning, people. Just thought I'd come and have a chat to you. I can't even get my words out this morning. Chat to you today about a few things. And welcome to all my new subscribers. You'll probably be sick to death of me within a week and sod off and leave me on my own, won't you? But hey ho. I've got Zed here at the end of a tug. Well, it's not, it's a Kong, but we've turned it into a tug toy, so if I get pulled off, that's where I want to go, where I'll have gone. It's not where I want to go, surely. Couple of things, and I'm occasionally I do have to do these slightly more serious videos, and I'd love to keep it all upbeat and that, but life's not like that. As my regular viewers, which aren't many, I put this appeal out about to stop, paediatric spaying and neutering in 6-week-old puppies, and I reached out to a couple of channels that I subscribe to that have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of subscribers. No help at all. Is it a case of people only care about what's happening in their country? It's like I signed a petition yesterday, with change.org or, whatever person is, on a female wolf that was the only female wolf that was shot in Denmark. And they are pushing to get prison time on the guy who sat in his car and shot the wolf. Okay, now they've got over 100,000 signatures on that petition, and my appeal to stop the paediatric spaying and neutering achieved about 12 signatures, and that saddens me hugely. It might not be your country, and I learnt a lot, that in Sweden it's 6 months old by law. In Denmark it's 12 months. That might be the other way around country-wise. Sorry if I've got that wrong. But it just saddens me, okay, that people don't seem to care if it's not within their own country. This sort of isolationist approach to things. If it's not happening in my country, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It does. It's not my fault that we're a barbaric little island that seem to be lacking in intelligence and compassion and anything else. The purely positive movement's big on big on everything, but they don't want to do anything about stopping puppy neutering and spaying. I don't get it, people. I don't get it. Anyway, I will leave that there. I would appreciate some help from the bigger channels. I've asked, I'm not going to name and shame, it's not who I am, but, 2 channels that I watch, everybody I'm subscribed to, I watch every video they put out, I support them 100% because they're taking time out to make a video, okay? So I feel that it's if I'm subscribed to them, that I support them and I watch, I comment under every video they make, etc. and so forth. Right. Yeah, I put out a video to try and improve something to stop the neutering and spaying of 6-week-old puppies, okay? And this does not include the people that happily went ahead on the link and signed that petition. And for those people that did it, which is about a dozen, thank you very much. But a dozen signatures isn't going to stop it. I mean, yes, we've got over the 6,000 signature mark, but now we're heading for... You're right, Bob. We're heading for 7,500 signatures. Now, if shooting one wolf can get over 100,000 signatures in one country, clearly that country cares more. I'm from the UK, and I happily signed that petition because to shoot that wolf when it's the only female wolf there, it was very wrong, and to shoot any wolf, in my opinion, is very wrong. They're part of nature's plan, and who the hell do we think as human beings that we've got the right to destroy any animal? I'm not just talking canids here, I'm talking about all animals, and I also do think we interfere way too much. So if there's anybody out there that actually does care about dogs in general and not just about the dogs in their country, I'd appreciate if you go back to the video that is entitled Appeal, and that's in capitals, and please click on the link. It's a genuine link. It's not some kind of scam. It's not to get your information. It's none of that. It's change.org.uk. It's an org. It's an organisation, non-profit making organisation, okay? They don't want money, they just want your signature so that we can do something about it over here. I mean, it's headed up by Stan Rawlinson, and Dr. Karen Becker is on board with it. You know, I just don't get this lack of interest. So it's okay to go and neuter 6-week-old pups then, is it? Shame on you. It's not shame on me, it's shame on you. Right, the next thing I want to talk about is engagement in dogs. I'm going to move on from that because it starts to make me feel quite angry. You know, I mean, it's like, I've been different places with Zed recently, and all I'm seeing is the same thing over and over and over and over again, is a lack of engagement with dogs and their owners. You know, it's like owners go out with their dogs almost looking for other dogs, for their dogs to play with, and I'm going to put that in air quotes, play with, because, you know, that playing leads to fights as a rule. Not all the time, you know, it depends how well socialised your dog is, and socialisation doesn't mean meeting loads of dogs, it means taking them to other places, letting them learn about new textures under their paws and different things in the world, not necessarily just about meeting other dogs, which can lead to problems. In my 46 years worth of experience and opinion, okay, for what that's worth, which doesn't seem to be very much either. So, you know, I mean, it's like, for example, yesterday, we all know about Lexi, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier that has a crap owner, frankly, and I'm not pulling punches on this video today. Now, he takes his dog for a walk when all the kids are going to school in their very short skirts, okay? I have to be careful what I say here. Now, when he sees me up the woods, he just goes away and leaves his dog Lexi on the green with me, as you all know. Now, yesterday he came up with a young teenage girl with her 7-month-old boxer dog, and they stood in the middle of the green when they knew I was training Zed. So, you know, I snapped her back on the lead because, you know, Zed's not interested in other dogs. All she wants to do is engage with me, and that's how it should be. You know, dogs should not be looking to other dogs for entertainment. They should be looking towards their owners, handlers, for entertainment. You know, the day Zed looks at another dog for entertainment, I've made a mistake. I mean, even when she goes out with my friend's dog Scar, does she play with him? No, because she's like, right, Mum, what are we doing next? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? You know, that's how it should be, people. I'm sorry, but it is. And, you know, it comes down to one thing, laziness. You know, is it lack of education? Possibly. Is it lack of knowledge? Possibly. Is it just being damn lazy? Probably. You know, you have to have a relationship with your dog. Don't be one of the walk, water and feed brigade, please. You know, you want to start engagement with your dog as soon as you get it as a pup. You know, if you have got an adopted rescue dog, it's not, you know, I don't want to hear you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because yes, you can. You can teach an old dog anything, actually. You know, if you're committed enough. And there's another issue: people buy dogs and they're just not invested, in my opinion. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It took me 10 months to make up my mind about getting another pup after losing. You know, I mean, I've lost all my pack now, and I've just got Zed. But it's like, I know, as someone that's been handling dogs for 46 years, what goes into creating a relationship with a puppy, and later on, you know, as an adult dog, and it's a lot. It is a lot. I mean, you know, I was off YouTube for a year, sorting Zed out and getting that engagement, and so that she's not interested in other dogs. I don't want her interested in other dogs. All that happens is that so-called playing gets out of hand, and you end up with fights that then end up with dogs getting stitches and huge veterinary bills. And, you know, most trainers will not take their dogs to a dog park, and yeah, that's wise, because all you've got is a bunch of out of control dogs. So I'm sorry, but that is what you've got. And it's like, I ended up yesterday up the woods saying to said teenage girl, right, because there was John and with his dog Lexi, and I said, excuse me, and I said, are you going to be moving on or staying here? I was very polite, and John opened his mouth. I said, no, John. I said, I'm talking to the young lady with the manners. She said, no, we're staying here. I said, well, thanks for letting me know. Now that I'll move on with Zed and she can get off lead and enjoy her walk, seeing as your dogs are not engaged with you. You know, I mean, I've even suggested a flirt pole with John. You know, no. Does he take toys out with him? No. Does he play anything with Lexi? No. I mean, I have to say, the girl with the 7-month-old boxer at least had a slight recall. I did have to keep saying to her, "Can you call your dog? Can you call your dog? Can you call your dog?" Because I don't want it near me. I don't want it near Zed. I don't want her at risk of anything. You know. As far as her training is, you know, as her training progresses, she becomes more and more valuable financially. You know, I mean, if you were to go and buy, you know, a general purpose trained service dog, you know, you'd be looking between £13,000 and £15,000. She's worth way more than that because of what she does. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want her to lose her confidence. And all I'm hitting, I mean, when I hit people like John, who deliberately, now, as I've said, normally he just disappears and leaves Lexi there with me, which is an annoyance, you know, because she's bored and she sees Zed engaged with me and doing things with me and her tail wagging as she's doing focus heel work, etc., and having a wonderful time and running the full length of the green on a recall, and there's no engagement for Lexi. And that's sad. It's really sad that there's no engagement at all. And you know, come on people, you've got to engage with your dogs. You can't just take them out and think, "Oh, that'll do." Play with them, engage with them, find out, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, it's like when you play tug with your dog. There seems to be this preconceived idea that you can never let the dog win. Why would the dog want to keep playing if it never wins? You must let the dog win occasionally. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, if you're playing tug and you think your dog's going to run off with the tug, put it on a long line. Put it on a long line. And when the dog goes to run, you say, "No, come." And the dog comes back, you re-engage with the tug, and suddenly your dog thinks, "Okay, the game's with the person, it's with my mum or with my dad," or however you wish to be known as, human, person. Preferably in the dog's head, not boring person, because that's, you know, you can't be boring if you want your dog to engage with you. You've got to be interesting, you've got to be exciting. You know, I mean, the amount of stupid stuff I do to keep her engaged, and, you know, I mean, it's like we run the log, we do place work, and you know, yeah, it sounds boring. It's not boring to her because she has to run to the place and she looks to me and then she rebounds off a tree trunk and then she's running along the fallen tree with me puffing along beside her. She stops halfway to try and chew the tree and I'm like, leave it alone, leave it alone. You know, and it is all good fun, and that's what it should be when you go out with your dogs. It's good fun, not a chore. And if you're finding taking your dog out a chore, maybe you shouldn't have one. It should never be a chore. Never once in all my decades have I found taking dogs out a chore. Even if it's meant I have to get up early, which is all the time, as you well know, and take them out. It's not a chore. So all I'm saying, people, is please engage with your dogs. I am disappointed in the response to my appeal. I appreciate I'm a tiny diddy little channel and probably will never be anything other than a tiny diddy little channel. But my intentions here are good. I care very much about the welfare of the next generations of puppies. And the fact that other countries in Europe do not allow spaying and neutering, I'm surprised that there's not more support from that area, you know. I appreciate we're leaving the European Union. Sorry about that. I voted out as well. So, you know, but if people don't help, thousands and thousands of pups are going to be so screwed up without their hormones. They are going to suffer painful bone degenerative diseases and God knows what else, okay? And if you just want to think, oh, it's not over here, it doesn't matter, that's fine. That's fine. You just go down in my estimation. I'm sorry, I'm not pulling punches here. You know, I have asked a couple of big channels and I've just been blown off. And I just think, you know, it's a lack of care, isn't it? It's almost like, well, my dogs are okay, it doesn't matter about them. Not a true dog lover then, are you? You know? Please think on that, people. You know, it's not just about your little section of the world, it's about what's going on in the whole world. And if we don't set examples and stop this insane brutality towards animals, what next? What next? What next? You know, are you going to sit around when they start saying, oh, you can only have one child because we are so totally overpopulated? I mean, that's saying we breed like rabbits is a bit of a joke, isn't it? It's more like breed like humans because there's way too many of us, okay? We are destroying the planet, not the animals on it, okay? So let's support the animals and stop being so damn selfish. Sorry to be a bit harsh in this video, but yeah, I kind of felt that it needed saying, and that's it really for me today. Zed's gone to sleep, which I thought she would. Have a good day, and please say if I'm not covering things as you want. I do have a tendency to think, because all my dogs have always been so well ahead of where they should be, save for Zed, who's sort of 6-8 months behind her training because of her, but should we use the right word, behavioural adjustment training or behavioural modification training? It's all the same. It's not as though after I stopped doing training dogs at a club that I stopped learning. I've done nothing but study and study and study for decades on dog behaviour, behavioural adjustment training or behavioural modification training, and just about every other thing there is to do with dogs. I don't just sit here on my computer watching videos. I am studying, learning, and I will continue to learn to the day we die. I mean, at the end of the day, if you think you know it all, you're closed-minded. I don't know it all, far from it. Yes, I've got a lot of experience, but I don't have trainer arrogance. I don't sit there thinking I know it all. I don't, and Zed's taught me a lot, since I had her. She's the most difficult dog I've ever had. So please stay open-minded, please engage with your dogs, and think a little bit about other dogs around the world that nobody seems to care about, but I care, and so should you. Okay, because one day you might have one of those screwed up little puppies that have been neutered and spayed. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Have a good day. Bye.